as we continue on in this Eastertide, sharing our own stories and experiences of God and the risen Christ in our midst, we are so excited that Carla Mathison has volunteered to share her mountaintop moment with us this morning. So please welcome Carla to our podium, our lectern, as she shares her experiences with us this morning.
Many of you know that a couple years ago I began making monthly 2-week trips back to Kentucky to be with my mother, who was in a terrific assisted living facility and had recently made the difficult decision to stay where she was, but to enter hospice care. For over a year, I spent half of my time there and half of my time here. During my weeks with Mother, I was given a spare room by the facility where I slept and kept my clothes, but most of the time I spent with her, or when she was napping, visiting with other residents, the caregivers, cooks, and maintenance folks. Today, I want to share with you 3 experiences with these people that have burrowed deep into my soul. So, here are the stories of Flo, Josie, and Renee. Flo, the main cook. She made special treats for Mother and me almost daily. She would bring them into Mother's room with a big smile, sing a little with Mother, and just as she put it, sit a spell. On one of these occasions, when we were finished with our special dessert that she had made, I took our plates back out to the kitchen, but Flo was nowhere to be found. I asked the caretaker if she knew where Flo was. She told me rather hesitantly that Flo always went into the bathroom to cry after she visited Mother, because she loved her and hated to see her declining. Yet, day after day, Flo continued to make us special treats and willed herself to be with Mother, lightening her spirits with a song, a smile, and a big hug. Josie. Josie was Mother's primary caregiver. She was filled with unfailing goodness and patience and always went above and beyond. Extra whirlpool baths, lotion on Mother's back, arms and legs, a story here and there about something she had done on her days off. One day Josie came in, but there was something a little off about it. The smile and good morning greeting rang kind of hollow that day. I followed her out into the hallway, and she told me she had a painful ear infection. I remember saying, "Well, what are you doing here, Josie? You should be at the doctor's." I know, she said. "Maybe I'll go after work." After Josie left for the day, I casually asked the night shift caregiver, Paula, if Josie had gotten to the doctor. Paula shook her head and said, "I doubt it. I don't think she can afford the copay." Now, don't you go telling her I said that. Josie was a woman who had developed incredible caregiving skills with all that entails. And for those of you who are familiar with this type of care, it is some of the most physical and emotionally strenuous work I have ever seen. She could not afford the copay for the health care she needed, yet she cared for my mother and others with her whole heart and soul. Finally, and this one's a little more upbeat. Finally, Renee, the weekend cook, caregiver, and calm in a storm gal, who, in a pinch, could unclog a toilet, fix a squeaky door hinge, get a faucet to stop dripping, and always figure out what Doris in room 26 did to her TV to make it stop getting the Wheel of Fortune channel. Like Flo and Josie, Renee made a wage that kept her barely making ends meet. One day I needed to run out and get some things at the store. Now, I had an arrangement with the home to use their car that was normally used for folks for doctor's appointments and hair appointments and so forth when it wasn't being used. But that day it was booked. Renee came in to check on Mother and said, "Well, I thought you were going to the store." I explained that the car was being used and that I'd just go another day. A few minutes later, in comes Renee. She throws the keys across the room at me and says, "Here, take my car." On my way to the store, I thought, I don't think I'd just give somebody my car. What if they got in an accident? What would that do to my insurance? Blah, blah, blah. My tiny, tiny little mind racing from one potential disaster to another. But Renee didn't seem to give that a thought. I needed a car. She had one. It was that simple. These three women, whose own lives held many challenges I seldom face, who could have given so many reasons for not giving so selflessly of their time and talents, are some of the most generous people I have ever known. In them, I see the face of God.